All right, you meatheads, what is up? We are back with another Meathead Cookbook, and today I'm kind of breaking one of my diet rules that I typically preach and kind of have, which is like when you want a sweet treat or you want like a little cheat meal, just have the fucking cheat meal, just have the sweet treats. Don't like do this little thing like where you like make yourself hate your sweet treats by adding a bunch of protein powder to it or just making it gross and like doing the healthier version, and then you're just gonna binge later. Like just give yourself the sweet treat in little regards and like actually just taste it and enjoy your food. If you need canes one night, just go get the canes one night and get rid of that urge and then go back to eating good. And I believe if you're eating healthy 90% of the time, the other 10% of the time, unless you really have specific goals, this is different if you have like super specific body composition goals, but most people are just like 50-50 splits or like 80-20 splits where 80% of the food they eat is trash, 20% of the food they eat is good. If we can just get people the opposites, where 80% of the food they eat is good, 20% of the food they eat is bad, we would have a lot of issues solved in the world today. But I'm saying all this because typically when I want cookies and I just crave cookies, I'm just going to get some cookies. I'm going to eat some cookies. But my girlfriend made me about 60 cookies. When she was here, we put them in the freezer and I ate all of them in about a week and a half. So we have a little bit of an issue there with my ability to control myself when it comes to cookies. So today we are going to make protein cookies. We're going to try and make these protein cookies. If they suck ass, I mean, this is a total experiment. I went to ChatGPT. I gave it some of the ingredients that I had. It gave me some ingredients to get. And I asked it to make some low-calorie, high-protein cookies. So we're going strictly off what ChatGPT is telling me here. We got some applesauce. We got some sugar-free chocolate chips. We got our rival Whey Protein. If you guys want to support the channel, they have a discount code in the description here, JST20 for 20% off all your rival protein. We got some honey. We got some all-purpose flour. We got some sea salt. And this is the weird one. We got some cottage cheese that we got to blend up. That'll be our first step. And then we got some coconut oil. I believe that's all. And we have some milk. But we got to throw the cottage cheese. This is the one that scares me a little bit. I'm not a huge cottage cheese fan, but we were told to throw this cottage cheese in the blender here, ripping it just like this, getting rid of the chunks. And this is going to said it's acidic, which is going to help our baking soda that we have. That's the other ingredient. I know we had some baking soda up here. I don't know what I did with that. Oh, it's right over there. Baking soda. But we're going to blend up this cottage cheese first. Throw this in here. Put this on the blender. We got the oven, or our little oven here preheating to 350 degrees for when we're ready. All right, oven is preheated. The cottage cheese is all sorts of blended up here. Now we got to put our protein powder, our flour, our baking soda, and our salt in this bowl here. So for protein powder, we are using 3 scoops of the Honey Nut rival here. Throw that baby in there. Then we can put the protein away. Then we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So we'll throw this baby in here. This is the first time really using flour in this kitchen. Harley definitely bought this flour. She was here making the cookies last time. It's supposed to be like oat flour. That's what they want me to get, but I told ChatGPT I do not own oat flour. I barely own all-purpose flour. So throw half of this in there. That's perfect right there. Okay, quarter teaspoon of baking soda. It's crazy to me how like this tiny little bit, like I just do like this whole bowl is full, and like the next 4 ingredients are like a quarter teaspoon of something. Like how does that make a difference in the overall look of this thing? So a little baking soda in there, some sea salt, a quarter teaspoon of sea salt. Salt, I guess, kind of makes sense. This isn't really blended up sea salt. Huh? Okay, we're gonna go off feel there. A little salt in there. Then we gotta put our wets in here, which is this blended up cottage cheese. I feel like this is gonna be kind of. Oh, that actually came out pretty good. Blended up real nice. I also don't have a whisker, so we're gonna have to do this raw dog with a spoon. But scooping this out of here, that actually kind of is cool how blended up that got. All right, scooping that in there. I'll throw some of this. I always got to get the bottom of the blender. especially if this was real, like actual cookie dough. I'd be scooping that. All right, so we got the cottage cheese in there. Then we got to put the applesauce. This is another one that kind of scares me. So we have to put 1/3 of a cup of applesauce. What do we got here? Which one is this? It's 1/3 of a cup. So we have to put 1/3 of a cup of applesauce in here, unsweetened applesauce. But it did give me an excuse to buy some applesauce. So we got some good old applesauce there. Throwing the applesauce in there. Then we got to put the honey in here. We have 3 tablespoons of honey. You think I actually have to? I don't know how to measure out 3 tablespoons of honey other than like pouring it in this thing every time. I feel like Harley's going to cancel me for this. She always says goes up vibes on this stuff, but now I know how much 1 tablespoon is, so I can just put, this is very scientific here, but we're just going to keep squeezing this until I feel like we have enough in there. All right, so we got some honey in there. It's supposed to be 3 tablespoons of the honey. I think we did a pretty good job there. After the honey, we got to put 1/4 of a cup of whole milk in there. I got a last little bit of this milk, and then we got a whole nother thing in there. So hopefully this is enough. 1/4 is 1/2 of a half. So that should be good there. Just like that. Then we got 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. I should not have put that honey in there. I needed that. We needed that. We gotta clean this off a little bit. Momentary pause. We had a bunch of sponsors. And that's where I would put, like, I should put a sponsor. You know, like the Shane Gillis podcast, where like they just interlude and start yapping about their sponsor. We might have to start eventually doing that. But we got 3 tablespoons there. We need like a big food company to sponsor us. There we go, because we know exactly what we're doing. Got all the coconut oil in there. That seems like a lot of coconut oil compared to everything else. I really hope ChatGPT isn't bullshitting me. I should have checked this a little bit better, but I trust the robots. And then that should be everything. We have the protein powder, we have the flour, we have the baking soda, we have the sea salt, we have the cottage cheese, we have the applesauce, we have the honey, we have the whole milk, we have the tablespoons. We should be good there. We got to throw in the mini chocolate chips after we blend it up. So we just have to blend this up, and then we add the chocolate chips in there, the unsweetened chocolate chips. Let's see how well this blends up together. Momentary pause. I will show you guys this. I should have showed you it before I blended up. It kind of looked cool. But I think we're going to need some more liquids here, boys and girls. This is caked up. Look at that. Look at that. We're going to have to figure this out. Put a little more milk in there. It does smell really good, honestly. Not going to lie to you guys. It smells really, really good. It's actually blending pretty good. Like this actually might have been perfect. I'm going to take a little scoop. This is what I always do. Little test. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's actually really good. I really hope. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not saying this so you guys make this. I don't care if you guys make these recipes or not. I just want to give you guys ideas on recipes you like. Like, I don't make any money off you guys making these recipes. But holy crap, this one was good. I might be spoiling myself with this one. I'm gonna do a little more. That's gas. Okay, I'm gonna throw in. We got some sugar-free chocolate chips, which I don't know how the fuck you make a sugar-free chocolate chip, but they taste really good. I've been trying them out. Don't you worry. But throwing in some sugar-free chocolate chips in here. Spinning this baby in again. Oh, I might have been light on the chocolate chips. A couple more chocolate chips in there. There we go. Let's try it. A little spoonful with the chocolate chip. Oh, yeah. It's definitely, there's like some mixes where each bite is a little bit different flavor. Like my first bite was very coconutty. That bite was more cottage cheesy. I like my coconut bite a little bit better, but this is pretty good. So we're gonna mix that up there. I'm gonna take some of this stuff over here, and we are gonna start scooping these onto the pan. I made a bunch of them because that's the thing you want to do. You want to make a bunch of something when you don't know if it tastes good or not, because that's not a waste of resources. But if it is good, yeah, you capitalized and you don't have to make it again for a little bit. But I'm going to wipe off this cast iron. I've been making my cookies in my cast iron. And let me tell you what, absolute hack. It cooks it like a pizza, more like the cook on the cookie. It's absolute gas. I think this is that's probably the best tip I will give you on this entire channel actually, is cook cookies with your cast iron bowl. So we're gonna scoop up some cookies here. I might actually have to put a little bit more flour in these. We're doing a girlfriend lifeline here. I'm FaceTiming her while we're live because I'm not sure. So we're gonna have to ask her and see what she says. If the consistency of this is kind of runny, do I want to put it in the fridge or do I want to put more flour in there?
Let me see it. When you touch it, is it really sticky?
Sticky.
Yeah, a little more flour.
A little more flour. How much?
Like a little hand, like a little scoop.
A little scoop it?
Like 3 or 4 spoonfuls.
Okay. And do I have to put it in the fridge before I make them or should it be good then?
Did you use hot melted butter?
No, I didn't use butter. I used coconut oil.
Uh,
And it tastes really good. These are fire.
I would put it in the refrigerator for maybe just 5 minutes.
Okay.
Put it in
Okay.
the freezer for a couple.
Okay, yeah. I'll call you back. I'm making a video. I love you. All right, so you heard it here first. We got to put in more flour. Throwing some more flour in here. See if that helps a little bit. And she told me to put it in the fridge, but if I can get them to make cookies, I'm gonna skip that advice. I'm not very patient when it comes to food. I feel like part of the issue is like half my flour was on the side of the bowl. This is a workout. Oh my God. I need a whisker, bro. This short leverage. It's a physics lesson right here. Okay. I'm going to listen to her, and I'm going to throw it in the fridge for a little bit, and then we will be back live. All right. We pulled it out of the fridge, added a little bit more flour. I think we are cooking. It's still just a little sticky, but I want to make these cookies tonight and see how they taste, and then I will keep mixing in a little bit more flour and letting it sit in the fridge to harden this up. I think we're just a little bit of flour away, but we are gonna throw some cookies on this pan here if I can get them out. Here we go, and then I will show you guys. We will cook them at 350 for 12 minutes, and hopefully they turn out delicious. I think they might turn out as ugly cookies, but I'm hoping they are good cookies. An ugly good cookie I can deal with. The worst is a pretty bad cookie. You know what I mean? Like where it looks really good and it tastes like poop. That is not worth it. I do not understand those places. And if we're gonna go through the effort of making them look pretty, just make it taste good. I'm gonna wipe out my hands here. Oh, that stuff is sticky. So, a couple of design flaws on these protein cookies, but we're going off ChatGPT right now. We got these right here. We got that much dough left. We're gonna throw it in the oven here. Wait for 12 minutes, and then we will be back. Handy dandy oven glove here. There's no way these cookies don't just stick completely to the bottom of this pan, but all the other cookies didn't, but these, I do not trust these. Let's put 12 on the clock, and we will be right back. All right, we have taken them out of the oven, and they look a little different than normal cookies, but the taste test is it's going to be the true test if we can recommend these protein cookies or not. They were a little bit of a pain in the butt to make when we were putting them all on in the cast iron. Well, that's a good start. I spilled the first cookie, but once I got them on here, they actually cooked better than I thought they were going to. I think I had to add like 5 minutes to the time, so it was like 15, maybe 20-ish minutes at 350. But that's with my kind of crappy microwave oven thing we got going here. So not the most reliable, but we're gonna throw these in the bin here. Again, I'll show you just right there. And then I'm going to grab a glass of milk while I let those cool down a little bit before I first bite. A little glass of milk here. We will dip the cookie in the milk. You always got to taste test the cookie with the milk. Get this baby in here. It is still pretty hot, so I might burn my mouth, but we'll cool it down with some milk here. First test, moment of truth. They're pretty good. I cannot say amazing. They're a little chewy for my liking. I think I need to make them a little bit flatter. And maybe add just a tiny bit more milk, like decent amount of like flour in between. But the taste is really fire actually. It's growing on me. Let's do another bite. Let this one soak in the milk. Let that one soak in the milk. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe it'll make it a little less dry. They're like kind of like scones. I kind of made scones is what I made. That's what they taste like, but they taste really good. I really like the coconut taste with the vanilla. Let's try this here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I will write that. Let's go 7 out of 10. These are 7 out of 10s. That's a pretty good day. On the sticks there. That is our protein cookies. They were pretty good. 7 out of 10. I'm gonna go finish them up. We're watching a movie right now over here. If in the comment section you know what movie this is, let me know. Give me your movie trivia. Henry, I know you're a movie junkie. So let me know what movie we're watching there. I'll give you a cookie if you did, literally and figuratively. And that's what we ended up with. Appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood.